How do you roll it over and do the QL?
QL is really, you can't get to QL from here.
You can't?
No, without killing her.
Is there a plug?
How do I buy that?
Go there.
No. Oh well.
So we're gonna go to her story?
Huh?
We're gonna get to her story?
Yeah, we're gonna get to her story. So let's just add a little bit. What's the story? What do you got so far? She already told us.
Sucking her
What's her
To me, it
startup
just makes me
statement?
feel like I'm taking on a lot of.
Is this the
What?
same girlfriend you've had, or is this a new one? Because I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but it's the same story that I've heard before.
I've been dating her for 7 months.
Oh, okay. So it's the same girlfriend then. But she's been doing this for a long time then.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm at the point now where I'm like, you're not listening. You know what I mean? I'm telling you that you have to stop.
But she doesn't get it, obviously.
She hasn't gotten it because she goes a fit
So you
and
haven't.
tries to manipulate the situation and give me the IDK. No, you know, because you're not retarded or stupid. You have a thought process.
But I don't want to know because
Right.
you take
Well,
care of it if I don't.
She has a fear because now she has to face self.
So in all actuality, you haven't gotten it.
Maybe not, because I keep attracting the playful resistors.
Yeah, my question was, why are you attracted? Why were you?
Yes,
why-
Because when I say something, when
She has nice
I
boobies.
write something, or when I say I want to help people, being a healer, I don't X out my partner. So
This is one of those things you go, okay, I'm going to change that story starting
Right
today.
there.
Right, and that's one of the things that, and I'll tell you the example was.
That's a good realization though,
The
right?
example
Yes,
was going gambling the other night, just for fun. I'm not a gambler, I'm a banker. I don't gamble my money, I collect it. So
So that was going against her.
I said, yep, and so Katie says, let's go, I say we win, I text her back and said, I say we won, let's go collect our money. Our money put me together with her and I going and collecting our money. I'm in the front of the casino when she gets there. Who planned that? Really? I'm standing there, she gets there, she goes her way, I go my way. But every time I text her, she won money. I wasn't winning anything. Because I'm not the gambler, I'm the banker. So I kept to be with her to be the banker to collect the money. And then I literally woke up and went, oh shit, the next day because I knew that I wrote it exactly
There
how
was
it
See,
was
so
supposed to
Yeah.
then that's a great
And
reference.
it
So she's
happens-
seeing just how specific the writing does, right? Because she said, you know,
Well, you literally hit send. You literally are hitting it. You're reading send. It's
well,
there.
and it, you know, for people to need to realize that your thoughts do that automatically too.
Yes.
Your words just add more power because you're taking the time to say them out loud, but your thoughts are doing it all the time. That's the stories that we're all fucked up in. Because we're not walking around talking about most of the shit that's going in our head. We're letting it
Yeah,
just play.
millions
It's
of
all
stories.
But there's also a good word
Scroll over.
that is and.
And
I'm the banker and.
oh,
I am.
the winner.
And.
But she gave it to me, because literally every time she texted me, I could, my thing could be going down, down, down. She would text me, how are you doing, and I would immediately hit. So I sent a picture to her, like, look what I just did. And I kept saying, it's you. Every time she texted me, I won money.
So that tells you, if you got the right mentality with somebody and you partner up and do something like that, who knows what the hell you could do.
Exactly.
So you just
Very
change the wording up a little bit. Yeah.
Very good.
Now we all need to do the program and see what we can do with it. All right, so I'm turning her over. She needs
I do this thing.
Okay, we're working on colon.
Yeah, now I'm back in the QL. I can access the QL from
Do
here.
we want to read?
Sure, go ahead.
Defensive, dogmatic, stuck, overcritical, controlling, narrow-minded, perfectionist, compulsive, cynical, miserly, uptight, orderliness, stubbornness, holding on.
So those are all the things that I had talked to Cindy about, and I don't know if it's that I take those on so she'll get better, or what.
Say that again?
I don't know if I took that on for her. Those are all the things that I've talked to her about.
So that she gets better?
I think I tried to take it so she'll see things
Sin
differently.
eater. Sin eater.
So I don't know if it's, like I said, I wish she could see. Look what happened. You know?
So you don't know if it's yours or hers?
It probably is both of ours,
Mhm.
mostly hers. But she has to be so controlling that she'll throw a fit to get her way about stupid stuff. And then when I don't buy it, when I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing this. For instance, going and picking out glasses. She tried to manipulate the whole day so that I would go with her to pick out glasses. I said, no, I will not go. You're a big girl, go do it yourself. She literally threw a fit walking out the door and then turned around and said, I'm not throwing a fit. Okay. You know what I mean? So she has to be that controlling, in control. And I won't let her.
So who's reflecting what? What are we reflecting here, John?
Okay, well, let's look at that. We kind of lost track. Which is probably going to say something about the whole thing, right?
Right.
So losing control is the real issue, okay? Both women are looking to have some amount of control. Okay, I'm not saying that much to Stephanie. There's a little bit.
Right.
But the other girl does want to remain in control in the relationship. So, or with it herself too. That's why she can't let go of a couple of things. Because that's why colon is related to control. You know, your peristalsis clamps down, that's constipation. That's not letting something move and go, right? And then also the other end, which is just as bad, diarrhea, means the bottom's dropped out. There is no control. So, so there's a vying for control that's happening in the relationship.
I'll give you a prime example of how much she will try to control. She wanted to rearrange my closet. Why? It's my closet. Don't mess with my closet.
Is she living with you?
Yes.
Okay.
I want you to redo your closet. Why? Because I don't want you to dig through anything. But it's my closet and I don't feel like I'm digging. Leave it alone. She keeps trying. She keeps trying.
So is some of her stuff in your closet?
No, it's my closet only. It's all of my stuff. So she goes, when I leave and I come back and she's
I'm not
like,
buying it.
well, I only did your shoes in the top part, didn't mess with your clothes. So she still, after she knew that I would be mad, then she immediately goes, okay, I'll go put them back. So she did it almost anyway, knowing that the end result was going to be I would be pissed, you know, and that she's going to have to put them back. So she did it just to show me that she would do it anyway, but then she'd fix it. So it's almost like she's the person saying that she would rather do something and say I'm sorry later than ask for permission and be told no.
Okay, this is based on that story. What I'm feeling is Stephanie is an independent, strong personality, and she wants to remain that way.
Yes.
Okay, and the other girl wants for her to be a little more vulnerable, so she might be a little more controllable. Okay, so Stephanie's trying to remain in control of herself, and the other girl is trying to control her. So there's a struggle with the wills, so to speak.
Yeah, and I'm hearing some confusion because a little while ago she's saying that she's so codependent she has to ask and be told everything. She has to start the conversation. And now she's saying she's changing her closet.
Well, she has to ask what to say so she's not ever wrong. She doesn't have her own
Oh, I
thought.
see, I see. And so that's in your communication.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I feel that the reason she wants to rearrange the closet, which only holds Stephanie's things, is she wants to rearrange Stephanie.
Oh yeah, totally. And that's what Stephanie's like saying screw you with.
And I told this is my closet. Well, and I said, when you open that closet door and you stick your hand in, it's my space, isn't it? Yes, doesn't matter if it's my shoes or the top closet, the entire space is mine. And you did it deliberately and anyway.
So the girl is trying to go in there and make Stephanie hers, basically, okay? And Stephanie's like, you ain't getting me. So there's a resistance on both sides. One's trying to break in and one's trying to say screw you. So they're at a standstill with this issue.
So Stephanie draws people to herself to make her trust her power, own her
Yeah,
power.
that's true.
So that's,
Well,
so why does she, what is this power issue with her? Is she not confident? What's the deal?
This goes back to a story.
Yes.
She's tied to,
Well, I
What is
made my story
Stephanie's
when
story?
I made my story when I said, you know, I will help whoever needs help.
Mhm.
She is a very unhealthy person when it comes to that.
So she's waking up to that she's,
Right.
here she is trying to, all of a sudden and I've done this too myself. It's like you think you're here to help everybody, and that winds up being your mate too. And that may not be exactly what the hell you want.
Yeah, you
No,
can.
you wanna make the catches and carries.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if you pitch something, you want to make sure they're there to catch it, and
Right.
you throw something, you want to make
So
sure
this
they're
might
there.
this might be just the last of that falling away. She's just now making had like a big awareness of that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm doing that. So she's got that, which is good. So now she can rewrite it and say something different. Now I'm here to help, but I have a mutually supportive, loving relationship.
We can communicate.
Yeah, there's one of those, like Carl was asking, that's when you want to be specific. The communication is what she wants. And the thing about that this might not be the girl. So you can't just say, this girl, you know, you need to leave it open if you're okay with that. But, you know, that may push some other issues too, so now I'm working in the QL, low back area. I'm really just going on the same side that the muscle and the hip kind of presented itself. So, I'm getting the term let go. What do you think she could let go of in this?
Girl.
Has to be-
Wanting
It
to
has crossed my mind.
help everybody. I mean, to help the.
Okay, letting go of the idea of having to help everybody, that's one. Letting go of the girl, what else? What else anybody see that she needs to let go of? Perhaps. Something that's getting in the way of her intimate relationship. That's what that hip muscle is about.
You're not talking about control.
That's what I thought. Let go of her control.
Yeah, y'all need to say that.
Which muscle?
That's what I came to mind when she got on the table.
What?
Control.
Okay.
Would it be possible for her to hold on to her integrity and let the closet go? I mean, to say,
No.
I am not her closet.
No.
I don't think that.
I have to draw my boundaries, because if I don't, she'll invade everything.
Well, and here's where I'm probably projecting myself onto you, Stephanie. I think when you are completely, totally in love with somebody, they slip away on their own.
Mhm.
If you're still not making room for her in your closet, you're done with the relationship. You're not making room for her in your life.
She has her own closet, and I gave her the
So, you're right.
No funny kind.
She
Stay
doesn't
out. Stay out.
because you're not emotionally 110%
You're not ready
still
for her
in
to
love.
Right.
invade you,
Yeah,
period.
exactly. That's what they're trying to say.
Otherwise, none of this would be.
You know, when you're goofy in love, you know, you're ready to like merge. You're like, come into my body. You
The
know,
rest of
stay out of my
the
fucking
story
closet.
The rest of the story is, I said, you can do whatever you want with the house. You can put your stuff wherever, you can put wherever.
you save
Just leave my
space.
But
closet
this is
alone.
this is my space.
See,
See,
By
that's the
yourself.
space you won't let her in, and
Right.
that's why
Right.
she wants in it.
So she's
Because
so
you're
okay. Now what Bambi brought up is good because now we're getting more to the core issue. Stephanie's like, you can have everything but this space here. So she's drawing people that are wanting to have that one space. So what is that one little space that she's holding on
It's her
to?
heart. It's her heart.
Okay, there you go. So
And
so
when
she
this
still
level
feels the
like
need to protect her heart,
Right,
right? So she's
right.
going to keep getting relationships that are going to keep going after it to make
Right.
her look and say, okay, what am I really guarding? So what are you really guarding? What are you afraid to let them into the closet for? What are you afraid they're going to find? Or
I
take?
didn't think that I was afraid. I just wanted her to leave my shit alone. Well, she was wearing my shirts, and you know what I mean? It's like
She was taking stuff out of the closet.
yeah, she was wearing my shirts, and I was just leave it alone. So instead of going, please don't wear my shirts, just leave all of my shit alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Get the padlock on my
Yeah.
closet now.
Yeah.
So what does that? So what did that language mean to you? What is she wanting not to happen?
She doesn't want that, a relationship.
No, no. What is more specific?
Or does this take us back to the emotions of the heart?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, like trapped, does that, I feel like that's something there, maybe not. It'd be me,
Losing self.
Yeah, that's the big one to me. She's got this one aspect here because this is the pericardium.
So
The
it's self-protection?
yeah, the pericardium is the sac that surrounds the heart. It's known, and because you look at the body as like an empire, the heart is the emperor. The pericardium is the castle wall that protects the heart, the emperor. Okay. So she's like, I'll give you everything, but not my heart completely.
Not me.
Exactly. So that's why, like, when you get into these relationships, when you want to merge with them, you lose yourself in the what? The relationship. She's unwilling to let herself go completely. Let go. There's the colon aspect, right? So she's controlling herself for fear of losing herself in a relationship. She doesn't want to lose herself completely. So
Or
she
the
remains in
program.
a certain amount of control.
The
What?
program of losing yourself.
Yeah. Of course, there's a story. There's a past
Yeah, there's
story,
a
a past
story.
emotion.
You gotta
and all.
recognize it.
So she's afraid, ultimately she's afraid to completely open up and let someone in all the way.
But then that means this girl is not worth it to her.
Right, because she's
Right.
one of the people.
Period.
Now, wait. Now, I want to put a clause. I want to put a clause in there, okay? Because people can grow, but if she actually does do this and the girl is disrespectful of that space, then hell yeah, she's got to
That's
go.
what she's
'Cause
afraid
so
of.
yeah, exactly. So that's what she's going to what?
Continue.
Bring to her. She's going to continue bringing the people that are after the spot, the one little spot she's holding. They're always going to come in and try to control her. And I've heard that in past relationships. They want to control her because they feel instinctively there's something that they can't have. Because Stephanie says, you can have everything except this. And stay the fuck away from this, okay? So she's going to keep drawing everybody to her, trying to take that until she drops that. And then finally the relationship that will honor that will show up. That's how it works. So yeah, this relationship more than likely isn't
Very
it.
good.
But that's the whole story. You get what I'm saying? Do you get that? That's what it's all about.
So is
She's
that-
holding on to one she's holding on to this one thing, and she's afraid to let somebody in all the way. So she's going to get somebody that wants to take that from her. Once she drops that, once she gets it, she'll finally have the person because she's finally willing to let somebody in. Until then, she's going to find people that disrespect her space because in a way, that's kind of what she's expecting. So.
So what you're saying is that when she's not trying to protect her heart in that special place, then she will attract the person who would honor her and would just probably, without effort, without even knowing, not even invade that closet. You know,
Well,
and
no,
that's just a symbol.
Yeah,
What I'm
yeah.
saying is when she says it's okay for anybody to have my space, because she's not trying to protect it anymore, that's when she attracts the person
that's
who
when
respects her space.
Yeah, because she's writing the story. She's writing the story of this is the one place nobody can get into. And so people are going to try to get into it. So as soon as she lets it go, she'll draw the right relationship that will respect it because finally she's willing
Out
to
of
open
that
it.
story.
Yeah.
That story's shut and it's done and she's
Yeah.
on to a
And,
new story
and
now.
what'll happen is so what happens here, let me take this even deeper. You cannot cut off a certain part of your energy from anybody else without cutting it off to you, okay? So once she lets herself fully, her heart fully open, she will begin to honor it with right choices, with right relationships, right? Until then, there's going to be a tendency to pick the wrong one because she's not completely open to her own heart yet. It's there, but she's trying to keep it, it's like it's in a box. And if I open it up, you know, it gets a little scary, so I close it back. So she's gonna when she honors her own heart and respects her own heart, then she'll pick the right person. And then it'll, like Donna said, it'll be automatic. She won't even be thinking about, oh, come into my life. It'll just happen. It's like she will want that more than anything. But until then, she's going to keep getting the girl that wants to take it. And if she wants to take it, that's going to set off her story. Because somebody's trying to take her heart in the box, right?
And when the person comes in, you won't even have to tell them not to stay in your closet.
Right. They will respect. They'll be the
They'll
right
just
person.
automatically respect your space. And
So you have to
thing.
really dig deep in to find what is causing her to want to protect that and not allow.
Or we just have to know that.
Once you
Okay.
recognize the story, then when you hear
Well,
it playing,
yeah.
you can turn it off.
We understand. We
Basically, isn't
understand
that
part of
right?
the story. We can go back in childhood probably and find the real story, but we don't need to.
But we don't
We
need
simply know what the issue is, right? What is the issue?
Her heart.
There's a part of her heart she's
Protect.
trying to protect, and as long as she's trying to protect it, she's going to be drawing people that are trying to take it. Period. So what does she need to affirm? What does she need to write now?
So her statement would be,
It's okay to honor your heart.
I honor my
Yeah, I would think safe would need to be in there. My heart is safe with me, or
I honor and respect my own heart.
yeah, there you go. That's right. I honor and respect my own heart. And I would actually add something like this: I honor and respect my heart. I honor and respect my heart.
And
It's open to feeling. My heart is open to feeling something. That's not exactly what I'm the wording, but
in the newsletter you wrote a number of years ago, the line that sticks out to me, and I remember all this time, is that if you allow someone to disrespect you, you do injury
To yourself.
to your soul,
Mhm.
is what you said. So how does that figure into this?
Well, she's obviously, you know, okay, let me put it this way, Mary Ellen. She's drawing to her, just as we all draw life to us, she's drawing a relationship that's trying to penetrate this part of her that she's protecting, because energetically, she's putting off this, don't touch this. So she's going to attract people that want to touch it, because, you know, she's turned off part of herself to herself. Okay, once she opens this up and honors and respects and loves it, then what happens is she won't make the wrong choice. It's like it protects itself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Kinda.
I mean, that was what I was asking a while ago.
Uh,
Is it possible to evolve to the point that your closet is not you?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
You are intact and whole
Mhm.
regardless of if anybody invades your closet or not.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm not saying that that's what she should do.
Yeah, the closet is just an external representation of the part of her that she says you can have any part of this house except this closet.
Okay,
That closet is just representing here. And let's go even further, Stephanie. So if you walk in your front door, okay, is the closet left or right?
It's to the right.
It's to the right, okay? Is it forward, middle, or all the way back on the right?
I'm gonna get more forward.
More forward. So that's going to be your own creativity, maybe into helpful people.
To me, if she would grow, if she would grow with that and stop throwing fits,
Mhm.
which makes me pull it back even more, I'm
Right.
saying she's not growing.
Right.
So the choice was to go through her with this, but I'm only allowing her so much time to grow. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, okay, if you don't want to grow, then I can't continue to be with you. And that's why I said, here's a tool belt, go.
Mhm.
Here's the book, here's the work, because you're not doing it with me, so now you do it on your own.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
it seems like though there is an issue of control and dissatisfaction with wanting to change people on both sides. You know, one in the guise of hell, the other in the guise of I don't care what you want, I'm gonna do what I want.
See, for her, I would want her to have a healthy relationship, even if it's not with me.
Right.
You know, if she took anything away from it, it would be, okay, you can't do that, you know, or that's,
See, but what that turns you into is a lesson.
right, that's what I'm
You're
saying.
the lesson
I have to change
relationship.
that,
Yeah,
yes.
hell yeah. 'cause
I always say that, I'm like, oh, they're fine after they leave.
okay, that's it. And so
That's what I'm saying, I have
That's
to
your
change
story.
Yeah.
But both parties are not happy
times have you-
with the other, the way they are. They
Right.
want to
But
change it.
you're wanting her to be a story she's not.
So, no, I know, she's like, I think the main thing is she's in the helping mode, and
Right.
she's offering her relationship. So it's like, here, come to me, and I will help you learn
I
what
will
to
fix
do,
you.
so that when you go on to a better relation, or go into another relationship,
You'll
you'll
be
do what's
ready.
right.
Right.
How about you go, you do what's right now, because that's what I want. You know?
And I always say, this is the story of my life. I always say that,
Yeah.
all the time.
Wow.
See,
So
there-
you've recognized your own story.
Right, that's what I'm saying, I have to change that, I know that that's what it is.
I knew somebody that had a story like this, and it was funny because she said everyone I've ever dated, they wind up marrying the next person. Well, that's funny because I dated her, and the next person I married. So your stories can be extremely
She's
powerful.
preparing you.
So they
Yeah.
did a movie on that one.
Yeah, that with the guy was that. You know, but his was a little bit different about sex, but this is just in a relationship.
Yeah, that's right.
As soon as you have sex with this guy, the next guy you go out with, you marry. But it was very interesting because she would state that. She'd tell me that when we were going together. It's like, what the hell are you affirming, you know? So basically she said, you know, whoever dated her, they never stopped there, but the next person they dated, they married. And that's exactly what I did.
So her story was true.
It was true. Yeah.
But then,
So which means you just need to change your fucking story if you don't want that story.
So she will never get
then
married.
that poses.
Yeah, but that means she will never get anybody. So she's built in her own dissatisfaction. In that movie that Donna's talking about, he freaks out because he actually falls in love, or he starts liking somebody and he doesn't want to have sex with them because he doesn't want her to go on to the and find the next guy, right? So it's pretty interesting. A wrong story is that movie. I forget what it's called.
What was the name of the story?
Wrong story.
Was it? No.
It had Jessica Alba in it,
Yeah.
and penguins.
But what does that
in
say
her
about you?
underwear.
What does that say about you? I mean, you date the woman, she has this story, but it affects you. So does she attract the people who are destined to be married to the next person that she meets? And that's, I mean,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah,
They
totally.
fall into
I mean,
a
because
story.
you, I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
came into
Yeah,
having you know, a relationship with her, but you
Right.
didn't know that story at that
Exactly.
time.
So yeah,
And you
so
certainly
she.
did, and you certainly didn't know
So
probably
she's
about
gonna,
Lori
and
at
that's the
that
crazy
time.
thing. So the crazy thing is, yeah, she's totally drawing those people to her, and she's gonna continue doing that, and they're always gonna be the next one, and she's always gonna find out about it, so she will always be dissatisfied.
And even
And
if,
so, and you're
even
drawn
if,
there only because you
Because
got that
the-
same destiny.
and even if
Yeah,
the
yeah,
You should be
relationship,
married in it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying, what is it about
because
you?
the destinies go together. Here she is protecting herself, because she's got. I don't want to be vulnerable in this area. Okay, so she's gonna draw women that are after that one fucking area out of everything, right? And it's gonna cause. What it does is it causes the conflict for that to be highlighted, right?
A lot of energy.
That's what it's about. So, so the girl that that I went with before I got married, it was basically that whole thing, that whole story she had, the negativity that came around that was supposed to make her pay attention to the story she was writing, right? Some people never get that. Stephanie's already woken up to that, so really it's just about her changing the story from here on out. Will that change the relationship? It could, but it could also be the end too. But the cool thing is she's one step closer to having the right thing she wants. Because don't put a face on it. Don't put a fucking face. As soon as you put a face on it or a name on it, you've limited the whole thing.
What is her emotion on with the colon and the right hip and the heart?
I feel contraction, so it's like tight.
Okay.
She gets tight. She loses her, so here she is, she loses her ease of movement in the relationship. So somebody comes in, they kind of take over, she lets them into a certain degree, but then they start getting closer and closer, and it's like, they're like vicing down on here, and she's feeling, like they're coming too close, and then she gets in the energy and pushes back, and then you get this very strong restriction between one energy going out, one energy going in.
and even in that relationship where the woman said that the person will marry someone else after her, even if that was the right person for her and they meshed, she would make something happen.
Yeah, totally.
She would make the relationship not work
Right.
because that's in her head.
Right, that's her story.
That's her story. That's in her head.
How long is this relationship?
7 months.
7 months.
And that's why we tend to be in, Bambi asked if she was been in this relationship with this girl very long, because that's why we tend to wind up, different face, same story, same person, just a different face, right? Because we're drawing that energy to us to say, hey, get this, get this, get this, get this, get this, get this.
Like my sister was married to a man that was very controlling of her. And then when they divorced, she dated the next guy. He was very controlling too, and the whole family was talking to her about, this other guy, about letting him go. And so she brought up, I don't talk to them about their stories unless they come and ask me about their stories, And I told her, I said, what's going to happen, and here's one of two things. You're either going to deal with the issue within you that has to have a man that controls you, or you're going to date Robert for a little while because he is exactly like Bobby, only not as bad. And then you're going to go and you're going to draw in a Harry. And Harry's going to be just like Robert and Bobby, but just not as bad.
Yeah.
And eventually, because I know in your heart you want to work out of this. So you're either going to work out of this by guy to guy until you finally,
You can harden
or
it and do
you
it
can
in
deal
one
it,
thing.
yeah, deal with it now and get rid of it. And so she finally, this was like 6 months ago, finally, last month, she let go of Robert. And the other day, she was talking to me and she said, I'm really just not really wanting to date anyone right now. And I said, I think that's a very good idea. That's all I said.
That goes into the growth though. I mean, what I'm thinking now is that you have this problem relationship. If you don't want to move on to the second or third grade, then you just keep ignoring this issue. But if you recognize the issue and you deal with it, then you move to the next level.
Yeah.
And then the
You
next
graduate
level,
and you
right,
go.
and the next level. So this
And
is
also
just a
have-
level of
That's how I wrote that
relationship,
contract.
and then
So I wouldn't
now
be
that you
saying
see
that.
it, you'll, you know, go to the next
I'm
one.
tapping
basically.
fingers related to it.
Or you'll ignore it and
Or,
keep
or
staying
you
in the
have friends,
crowd.
like I said, I learn all my lessons before I need them, and then that way I know everything and I don't have to go through it.
There you go.
Yeah, but even within that, there's
I
still
know,
learning
we're still all
happening.
learning. Oh,
Because
yeah.
I've done a little bit of that in my own,
Sure.
but which means I'm always
Yeah,
studying.
that's
You know what I mean? And that actually gets in.
I'm forever the student.
Right, and what happens is that winds up interfering with living because you're trying to avoid all the negativity that you don't wind up living. I've done that path.
Yeah,
It's like, let me get all this up front. Well, if you get it all up front, you're not gonna live, period.
yeah.
Because the life part is the one that brings you some of those experiences. So, Carla came up to see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of pushing down into the muscle, and I'm also tapping the colon finger while I'm doing it. So when I did that guy today, that's what I did. I didn't say anything. I just did. So right there, you're already ahead. You can just tap the meridian and work the muscle. Period. And if you can go deeper, you can go deeper. But this right here will speed it up more than just regular massage.
Could I ask,
Yes, ma'am.
why would an individual want to do something that clearly disrespects the person they're with? If they've been asked not to do something and they intentionally, willfully do it anyway, that shows disrespect.
Yeah, it does. But everybody's a different. I mean, who knows? I mean, my childhood stuff.
Immaturity.
Yeah, I mean,
never find
maybe this girl was in let's say in childhood, her father was exactly how she is now, okay, and that programmed her to be that way. In other words, the girl never had any privacy because her father was very controlling. He'd come in, make sure, take over everything, see what's on the computer, do all that stuff. So she learned that pattern from him. That's one way. Or you can learn it the opposite way. Parent was never there. Never felt like anybody cared. So now you're searching to find somebody who really cares. So you can't just settle for what's there. You got to dig deep to find the love. So yeah, there's 100 different ways to get one particular thing in there, and
Or you
there's
might
no
just
set
know
way.
your boundaries.
I mean, why would?
Well, might just be trying to find her boundaries.
Yeah, and why would
Why can't she
you
push
know? I
her?
mean, that's almost like asking why would somebody actually rape someone? You know, that's horrible. But that happens because of certain other programming. Either seeing that or experiencing that themselves, or you know, issues around control. That's just another level of control amped up. I mean, it seems like extreme in our minds, but ultimately, Mary Ellen, my answer would be sometimes you don't want to understand that. Because if you understand that, that means you're of the same mentality. So there's certain things in reality I just don't want to get.
But wouldn't the picture be at that point, it's not really trying to figure out what's up with them, it's what's up with you and why you attracted yourself to that
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just curious.
Yeah, of course.
Well, could it be that she wants to prove that she is valued and cared about, even if she does what she's not explicitly told not
Yeah,
to do? If
some
she
people do
can
that.
this,
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, it's
say,
like- it's-
are you
it's-
gonna love me?
Is it, right, and that goes back to
That's a
childhood
good
too.
point.
It's like the parent that you know you act out in such a negative way. And I know somebody that's in a relationship like this. They're so negative, but they're trying to get the partner to prove that they love them. Okay, so they're going to keep acting out, keeping acting out, so that person says, "I do love you no matter what." But the thing about that is that hardly ever works because they're putting out the vibe they're not loved anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it all goes back to yourself, really.
So with Stephanie and this other woman came together. They both had something to learn here,
Yeah, as we all do.
as we all do. So that's, I guess, what we're looking at. What is it that she is needing to learn here, and what's the other girl?
Well, we don't really need to care about the other girl.
Here's what I got.
Okay.
Let her go.
Okay.
This is what I got. And I just got it the other day, and that's what made me go, what the hell? It's because she saw me as a strong person, and when she met me, I had gotten out of a bad relationship and we were friends. She took pity on me, which I didn't need. So she's trying to show me, look how much you need me.
Mm.
Look how much you need me in your life. Because she has, and this is where the codependency comes in, they try to take control of everything in the household, all the chores, and she wants to see how fast she can get it done, so I feel like I need for her to do something. So she's trying to draw power off of me, and I'm not giving it to her.
Mm.
I'm starving her of that. And now she's like, fine, I'll do the one thing you asked me not to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
She feels like she's suffocating.
Oh,
now.
here's that one space that she, okay, this is how this dynamic's working. This is the one space that Stephanie's broadcasting out to the universe, not to that one girl, that you can't have this. I don't care who the fuck you are, you're never going to get in here. So this girl is like, that's where I want to be. And Stephanie's like, fuck you. And now they've got this dynamic going back and forth. Right?
Bring this full circle is really interesting. At the beginning of the class, we were just talking about energy. Think how much energy has gone into that one. I mean, both, all of her
Both
energy and
sides.
the other person's energy is all going to this one spot.
Yeah.
And that's what I told her, you're taking this from an intimate romantic to a parenting, teacher, student thing.
Because then
Because
you wanted
she-
to help everybody.
And that's my doing because.
But you are the parent teacher in the relationship.
Well, is it true, in your opinion, that whatever comes to us in life is a lesson we need to learn?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that, you believe that's
Yeah,
true?
I mean, and if you're really lucky, you're in the right place where you draw a partner that's at the right place, and you get to have lessons together. But sometimes that partner is a lesson themselves. But once you learn partner relationship issues, then you come together with a partner that's on the same page, and you get to tackle other issues together.
Exactly.
Like childhood, I mean,
Yeah.
kids and
Yeah.
career, you know, there's lots of different levels.
And I mean, you know, I see her desire to help. She is a person who loves to help others.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. But I remember you saying just not long ago in this very room that there are some people that you cannot
No, you
help
can't.
because, I can't remember what reason you gave. Maybe they don't want to be helped.
Either
It's
don't
not
want-
ready.
it's somebody that, somebody, you can only help somebody when they're ready to be helped. You know, and yeah, I would love to walk down the street and say, do this, but if they're not ready, you know, some of the stuff I'm going into now, there's people I've lost along the way in the group that just would not get it, you know. Because the higher you go, it comes back more and more to you. And there's levels that you gotta understand to kind of keep going forward.
It's like telling somebody who's not ready to hear they're an alcoholic, and you want to tell them, you're an alcoholic, and you're this, and you need to do this and that.
That's when they run.
They're
from it.
not, yeah, exactly. If they're not ready for it, you're not doing any good but making yourself frustrated.
Or like
Pissed off
somebody
in
that's
this situation.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody that smokes, you know, if you're harping on them like that's bad for you, you're actually going to probably speed up and have them give them cancer more than anything. I mean, you're creating that story.
It's the closet.
Yeah.
No,
I like,
You're not going to tell me I'm a smoker, damn it.
There was this.
I mean, not to hurt you.
Yeah. There was this poem about Sai Baba. Well, it's not really a poem, but Sai Baba said this. I really like a couple of phrases out of it. But one is if you can't love someone, set them free. So if somebody's in your life and you've got to tell them to do something or be this way or that way, let them go the fuck go, because you're not doing them any good. If you get a bunch of negativity around somebody, all you're doing is hurting them and yourself in the long run.
Wait, what was the
Playing the
claim?
negativity.
The quote says if you can't love them, set them free.
Oh, if you can't. Okay.
Yeah. The other part of another aspect that I really like is every sinner has a future and every saint has a past. So Jesus, you know,
Say that again.
every sinner has a future and every saint has a past. Meaning we're all on our own way to sainthood, and all the saints that we ever read about, they were fucked up too at one point. So
They had issues.
yeah.
Well, I seem to recall in Eric Fromm's book, The Art of Loving, a section that said, if you want to be, you know, if you're thinking of being in a long-term relationship, you know, like marriage or whatever, and you think, well, this person is really good except for whatever it is,
Right.
X. If you're not satisfied with them as they are, if you're entering into the relationship with the idea of changing them,
Yeah, you're fucked.
that it's
No,
not
seriously.
it's
Or
not
you're
going
gonna
to
fix
be
them.
the one.
No, hell no. I mean, because it comes down to that zero judgment. If you're judging someone, you're sure the hell not in your center with
And
them.
then your point of being perfect, we should see everyone as.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Jesus. Jesus was able to heal people and impact people because he had gone to the place of non-judgment, which means he's completely centered.
Yeah.
So somebody may look at you and see a center, but Jesus wouldn't see that. And by seeing you in a pure way, it changed the interaction with that.
Yeah, but you can also continue to enable somebody who has that problem and you see them as, oh, you do nothing wrong.
Yeah, but then you just let them go because here's the thing. It's like
They've gotta figure it out sooner or later.
let's say somebody's in a actually physically abusive relationship. Okay, the girl never had a strong self-esteem, and the man actually went the opposite way. So here she gets in this relationship. He's physically abusive for her, pushes her, and eventually through that process she learns that, hey, it doesn't feel good to be pushed around. I'm going to take my power back. She leaves. He may never change. In other words, he may be there to teach a few other people the same thing, right? So if somebody's not where you want to be, then fucking leave. Don't try to rewrite their story. Because then you're fucked. Because if you're trying to meddle in somebody else's story, and that story's not where you want to go, you're stuck.
Or the closet.
Or the closet.
Yeah.
Are you in the closet, Stephanie?
Nope, I can't.
Stephanie's not in the closet.
She's not letting her in the closet.
Yeah.
I just can't come in here until.
The only thing that comes out is she.
Until what?
That's what I'm saying, I wouldn't open up my heart to her until she stopped being so afraid of herself and sure-footed, and that's why I protect it. When I'm seeing that she's not growing, I wanna let it go.
So she's saying, I don't want certain people playing with my heart. And the other girls,
Exactly.
so there's the struggle back
She
and forth.
doesn't trust her
Right.
with
She was
it.
just saying that she wasn't letting
Okay, that
her
was kind of quick, you
in
know.
because
Really
the
quick.
other person wasn't.
Growing.
Trustworthy.
No,
or-
no.
Yeah, yeah, I think
The
that-
way you said that was just so beautiful.
I think Bambi said it, but trustworthy. She's wanting to know that the girl is okay to let in.
Right, she's not, I'm not gonna give her my heart until she starts to grow.
Right,
Be on the same
and
page with
that's
me.
the reflection of not letting her in the closet. But there's only one way around that, is Stephanie owns her heart the way it is completely, and she chooses, but she's already in the process of rewriting this. In other words, she knows that she's been drawing relationships to her to help them, and now it's up to her to change it. It's like, no, I'm gonna draw to me relationships that are ready to honor me. I don't have to teach them to honor me, right?
In all actuality, that's a codependent statement that she made, with, I'll do this if.
What's
Yeah,
your
I mean,
level
but
now?
we're all codependent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
that's
an
what-
8 still?
And the other person can't
Or
really
no?
honor or love you or
is 11?
get your
Or
heart
do the
right.
right. Well, if she was trustworthy, it'd be another one thing.
Yeah, if she had respected what I said, sooner or later I'd be like, you know what? Do your idea what you think you
Yeah.
want to do. But as soon as she was like, let me do it, I went,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
Here's my boundaries, we're trying to get.
Could I borrow one
I
of
don't
your
know, it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You let it out of my